Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we explore amazing opportunities around the world. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Ammy and today I've got something special for you guys all the way from Canada. But before we continue, if you're seeing my beautiful face for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Ammy. I'm a content creator and I have a lot of videos on immigration. Whether you want videos on visas, conferences, studying abroad, scholarship, jobs abroad, any kind of video that has to do with immigration, right? You will find them on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel for more informative videos. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend it to others. Please share my videos with your friends and your loved ones and keep watching.
Hello guys, you're welcome to Immigrate with Ammy, and today we want to speak about Canada immigration. Canada has 1,001 different ways for you to immigrate as a permanent resident, and we have actually been exploring some of these ways. As you know, we've spoken about the express entry, we've spoken about some regional programs, some provincial programs, some community-driven programs, and you can actually refer to those videos that we've done previously. You can see the links in the video description for you to check out those opportunities. Today we want to speak about another opportunity for immigration to Canada directly as a permanent resident. This pathway is one of the best. One of the reasons why I say that is because when compared to the other programs that we have reviewed, this one actually has the minimum proof of fund requirement. Okay, as you know, one of the things that you would need to show proof of if you want to immigrate to Canada is the fact that you have settlement funds. Either you are going alone or you are going with dependent, you would need to show proof that you have sufficient funds to settle you and your family. And this particular program actually has the minimum requirement when it comes to showing proof of fund. And we're going to show you actually the amount that you would need to show proof of. It's too low, guys. Apart from the fact that this program requires minimum proof of funds, another good thing about it is that even though this is just one program, there are 11 different opportunities under this program. This program is like 11 in one. So it's the same program, but there are 11 different opportunities for you to actually immigrate through this program. So guys, we are talking about the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. I'm going to tell you guys about the program, the eligibility requirement, and how you can take advantage of this program. So guys, you are welcome to a Canada immigration website where you can find information about the different immigration programs. We are focusing our attention on the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. It's a pilot program because it's not yet a permanent immigration stream or pathway. At the moment, it's been extended till 2024. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen after 2024, but at least between now and then, you can continue to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, so the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot is a community-driven program. It's designed to spread the benefits of economic immigration to smaller communities by creating a path to permanent residence for skilled foreign workers who want to work and live in one of the participating communities. What does this mean? It means that there are certain communities in Canada. They are actually small communities. They have come up with an interesting idea to attract skilled permanent residents into their community. The fact that they are small communities means that maybe in Canada, people who are living in Canada do not really want to stay in those particular locations. These are more or less smaller communities, but they are putting in place this program to attract people in order to develop the economy of those smaller communities. Okay, I'm going to be showing you guys the communities that are currently participating in this program. I will also show you the links to their respective sites where you can kickstart your application for this Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. Okay, so don't forget that it's a community driven program, so this is driven by the community, not by the province, not by the federal government, but by the participating communities themselves. So let's move on to the next thing, which is one of the exciting things about this pilot program. Let's talk about the proof of funds that is required based on your family size. So as you can see here, the proof of fund that you would need to provide will depend on the number of people in your family that is coming to Canada with you. So let's imagine that you are a single person, you don't have any dependent, then you are just, one applicant, right? You only need to show proof of fund of 2,367 Canadian dollars. This is actually great because the amount is really low. If you have a spouse, it's just you and your spouse as the dependent, you only show proof of 2,947. That is even under 3,000 Canadian dollars. So you can see this amount. If you compare this amount with what you need for the provincial programs or the federal express entry, you would see that this is almost nothing. This is negligible compared to those other programs. And that is one of the great benefits of immigrating under this particular program. So we've talked about the proof of funds. Let's take a look at the communities that are currently participating in this pilot program. So currently we have 11 of them. Now in the beginning of the video, I said that you have 11 opportunities. The reason why I said that is because if you are applying under this pilot program, you don't need to limit yourself to just one community. You can apply to all of the 11 communities, and then whichever one picks you first or whichever of them gives you the opportunity you need, then you can follow through with the application. Okay, so this is a list of those communities, and they are actually spread across different provinces. So some people might say, I only want communities in Ontario, I only want communities in Manitoba. You have the choice to choose the communities you're interested in, or if you want to actually open up yourself to all of the opportunities, then you have 11 opportunities right here. So 5 of them are in Ontario. As you can see, the first 5 communities are in Ontario. These are the community websites where you can find detailed information about how each of those communities are running the program, where you can get jobs, the information you need to apply, and stuff like that. You can also create user profiles on all of these particular sites, and then you can chase off your application from there. So 5 of them are in Ontario. The next 2 are in Manitoba. One of them is in Saskatchewan, as you can see. One of them in Alberta, and the last 2 are in British Columbia. So these are the list of participating communities under this program. So we're going to drop the link to all of these communities in the video description, so that you can go to each of them. We'll actually check one of them later on for you just to see how the community platform are set up. So let's move on to the eligibility criteria for this particular program. Okay, so for you to be eligible for this rural and northern immigration pilot, the first thing is that you must have qualifying work experience, or you must have graduated from a public post-secondary institution in the community. So if you have not studied in those communities, then you would need to have qualifying work experience. The second thing is that you must meet or exceed the language requirement. As you know, language proficiency is a must if you are considering permanent residency to Canada. The next thing is that you must show that you have enough money to settle yourself and your dependent. If you are coming with dependent, we've already shown you the table for the amount of money that you need to have as proof of fund. The next one is that you must show your intention to live in the community. Okay, one of the ways you can show that is by applying for jobs in those communities. This is one of the ways to show that you have the intention to actually reside permanently in that particular community. Okay, and then if there are other community specific requirements, because it may be that a community A might say we want this additional requirement, community B might say we have additional requirements. So if you are applying to those communities, then you would need to also consider those other community specific requirements that may not be general, okay, when it comes to rural and northern immigration pilot. Okay, but the first step is that based on all of these criteria, if you are interested in this program, the first step is for you to actually ensure that you have the language requirement. Okay, so either you have English language proficiency or French language proficiency, and there are standard tests that you can write to show those proficiency. One of them is the IELTS, okay, which is more or less the commonest one. And for this program, you actually need almost a band 4 according to the Canadian language benchmark, which they use to gauge your language proficiency level. Apart from the language requirement, you would need to also show that you have at least a high school education from your home country. But you would need to evaluate that, okay? And you must do that through one of the credential evaluation organizations in Canada. One of them is WES. So you can actually go to WES and evaluate your credentials. So if you have finished secondary school, you have gone to a college, you have gone to a university, you would need to evaluate those credentials with WES or with the other credential evaluation organizations in Canada, okay? So once you have all of that set up, you would need to also get a job in that particular community that you are considering. And I'm going to show you how you can find jobs in those communities, okay? So all of those communities have their own separate websites. You would need to actually go to each of those websites, create a user profile, and then start applying for jobs in those communities. If you can get a job in those communities, then the community will offer you like a letter of sponsorship, which you would use to then get your permanent residence in Canada. Okay, so you would need to look for an eligible job in the particular community you are interested in. So basically, for you to find a job, the first thing is that you need to understand that the job must be in that particular community. The employer must continue running their business in the community. The job must be full-time. The job must not be seasonal. Okay, so it must be a non-seasonal job. So there are certain jobs that are only done during some particular seasons. Those cannot be used as a job offer for the rural and northern. It has to be a full-time job that you can conduct throughout the year. And you can also read, different other criteria when it comes to a job offer. It has to be a permanent job, different criteria that the job offer must meet as well. But of course, the employers are aware about this, and when they offer you job based on this program, they already know the kind of job that they should have. So these are more or less general information about this rural and northern immigration pilot program. Now, what I've done is I've opened one of the participating communities website. So this is for North Bay in Ontario. Okay, so this is their own particular website for those who are interested in immigrating to their community. Okay, and on this website you can actually see some information about updates. As you can see here, for example, the government has extended this pilot program till February 2024, but are more particular about applicants. So as an applicant, there are information here on the portal for you to make use of when you are applying for this particular program. One of them is that there are jobs that are published for these particular communities, and then you can actually apply for those jobs and use that job offer as a means of immigrating under this pilot program. Okay, so for this North Bay, there are jobs here that have been published, like for example, database administrator, store manager, service technician, resort manager, a helper or painter, a glazier helper, welder, electricians, plumbers and pipe fitters, production operators. So these jobs are specific to employers in those communities, and you can use these jobs to apply for permanent residency under the rural northern immigration pilot program. Okay, so check out these jobs, and other platforms for the other communities also have their own jobs published as well. The last thing about this North Bay area is that you can create a candidate profile here so that the community understands who you are, and then that can actually fast track the process. That can also give you an edge in quickly landing a job in this community. So let's take a look at the form for you to create a candidate profile if you are interested in immigrating to this community. So what they want to know is your name, if you have a passport, your date of birth, citizenship, and stuff like that, your email, your marital status. They want to also know how many dependents you have who will be coming with you to Canada, your address, okay, in the country you are currently living. They also want to know about your education, what you studied, which year you graduated. They want to know, just as I mentioned, if you have already done your credential assessment. They want to know if you have already written the English language or French language proficiency test. They want to also know your work experience and other information regarding your job. You will have the opportunity to upload your resume. They want to find out if you are already aware that you would need settlement fund. They also want to know if you want to be receiving update from them. If you're an applicant, of course, you should always say yes to this, okay, so that you can be getting information from those communities. So there are certain standard forms that they need, which you need to download. Okay, so you will need to download these forms. You fill it and then you attach it back on your application. Okay, so you can attach those forms here. They have provided links for you to actually attach those forms, and then by going through this process, you would already have a profile on their website, right? And when you have that profile on their website, first, they will be giving you update. Secondly, you have already notified them of your interest to immigrate, which is also one of the criteria for this program. And then the third thing is that you will have an edge. Okay, it makes it easier for you to be able to get jobs in this particular community. Okay, so guys, we've been talking about the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. This is a great opportunity for people who want to immigrate to Canada as permanent residents who do not have so much funds. This program requires minimum fund as well, and you can explore all of these opportunities in those 11 communities. We will add the relevant information, the links in the video description, and then you can make use of those information to get your application up and running. If you need one-on-one support, we do offer that as well. Please note that this is a paid program. It's not free because it takes a lot of effort to actually provide a one-on-one guide. At the same time, we are almost done with the information pack that we are putting together. It will be more or less like a self-help or a do-it-yourself guide. If you're interested in immigration to Canada, we're going to put all of the available programs there, and you can follow those information to get your application up and running. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. We wish you all the best and have a lovely day. Thank you.